Okay, so this year we're doing another Assorted Horror Volume 2. So I only got 2 games this year, but I want to talk about them for about twice as long as the other ones, so it works out. And we're starting off with Call of Cthulhu. This game isn't amazing, but it's a pretty unique one. There's not too many mystery horror RPGs out there. There are some, but not too many. That game has like an RPG style leveling system, where you can put like different points into different traits. It's well applied in some ways. There's multiple solutions to like get out of a problem. You can use different traits. You can like use strength to move something, or charisma to get a guard to move. But it's a bit not well applied when it comes to like, there's no like exclusive bonuses per each trait. You know, there's no like, oh, if you have investigation up high enough, you know, you can find this one clue that gives you an alternate ending or sub-ending, you know. There's nothing like that. So, yeah, it sort of feels like it doesn't matter too much where you put your points in a way, as long as you're stacking high in one trait. The puzzles are fairly good. They're unique. There's one decent one with like these lanterns and this interdimensional stuff. There's some standard horror hide and seek, I call it, where, you know, like the monsters running around and you gotta hide in cabinets or under beds or whatever. Although the bit of a problem with that is that there's some bad AI that makes it a bit worse. It's not awful, I don't think, but yeah. There are actually like these sort of shooting sections, but not too many. And like you can't miss, and the only real factor is conserving ammo. The dialogue system's pretty decent in this game, and I like how there's a couple of time choices where you only get, or usually you got infinite time, but sometimes you get like a limited time, which makes like certain moments more intense. There's a bit of a problem. In general, the dialogue choices and the other choices seem important at first, but then you have a wide variety of options, and you're constantly told that these decisions affect your fate. But ultimately, there are only 4 endings, and there's one decision at the end that branches 2 endings, so there's really only like 2 endings with one different ending choice. Also, there's very little variety in sub-story endings. The story overall is fairly good. It has a good unraveling mystery where more and more is constantly revealed. There are good, memorable characters that are fairly well acted. There's also decent dialogue. The aesthetics are good, although they're not per se unique. They're prime examples of these like spooky old mansions, asylums, museums, and old harbor towns, and they're really like good versions of standard things, you know, and the standard things you love in horror. There's also fun Cthulhu imagery. You got these dead sea life, you know, it's all piled up sometimes, and you know, the otherworldly stuff's good. You got these fun monsters. That's pretty good. Overall, this isn't the most amazing game, but it's unique and memorable. And I'm giving it an 8.12. Secondly, we have Friday the 13th, the game. This game was one of the earlier asymmetric multiplayer games. And it's the first to start this trend of, that's still going of asym horror movie tie-ins. I've talked about a lot of the other ones, so I feel I should at least talk a little about this one. The game is a very loving but not very competent tribute to the movies. The gameplay is very clunky and awkward, and
you can, but there's another button. Get out. Get out of the car. Oh, he may pull you out.
I don't know how to...
You have a pocket knife, so once you've stabbed him, get back into the car and start driving.
Okay.
That was a cool bug. There's lots of them.
I gotta start the car
again. Start up, and he's gonna get right back in.
Some of the clunkiness was definitely intended, you know, for it's like emulating how in horror the characters always like stumbling around and like just barely escaping. Although a lot of it's definitely not. It's really awkward how you get into these weird stun or animation interruption battles with Jason, or sometimes you end up like playing Ring Around the Rosie around like at a coffee table or something. And also the controls are generally pretty rigid and don't have a good feel to them. But with all that said, the reason this game started the trend is because of its attention to detail and loyalty to the franchise, representing the strategies to defeat and escape Jason makes sense. The weapons and skills fit into the franchise. Everything just sort of generally fits, The aesthetics are really good, especially Jason's kill animations. There's a lot of good environmental ones, where like you can slam like someone's head in the door. There's also good animations in general. Also, the maps are good in detail, and they feel like the locations from the movies. They also use a lot of the good music and music cues from the movies. Luckily, Elphonic and other developers would go on to gradually get better gameplay for Assorted Horror, while maintaining the loyalty of their respective franchises. Overall, this is a loyal but a bit sloppy game that would start a pretty fun trend. Overall, I'm giving it a 7.02. That's about it. What do you want to say about either of these games? I really appreciate comments. A lot of times I put in the outro, what game should I cover next? And I would really want to know what you guys want to see, so that would be helpful, especially if it's something on Game Pass, because then I don't have to buy anything. Of course, maybe it's something I also already played and I could talk about it. Yeah, but overall, that's it. Thank you to anyone who likes, comments, or subscribes. That's it.